Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Married School of Love. And on this episode of Before the Isle, we'll be talking about how to find yourself a godly woman. So, without any further delay, let's get to the first point. It's very important that you ask these questions because you ask the right questions, you get the right answers, and eventually get the right person. It's important that if you're a godly man, you find yourself a godly woman. In order for you to do that, you need to ask the right questions. You need to have the list in the right order. So, why is it important that she must be a godly woman? It's because you need to understand that in each and every relationship there are principles and there are priorities as well. When you get to a point in your relationship where you now face a hiccup or you face a challenge, you will need other people to help you. You will need counseling, you will need assistance, and that becomes very difficult if you do not agree in principle, because now you end up going to the wrong type of people for advice, and then they feed you with things that do not correlate nor agree with your belief system or what you guys believe in. So it's very important that you find yourself a godly woman, a woman who fears the Lord, a woman who can hear God, a woman who has a personal relationship with God, not a person who just goes to church, but a person who has a relationship with God. You will get to a point in your relationship where you both of you need to hear God for direction. And if that person doesn't have a personal relationship with God, and then that becomes a hiccup, that becomes a problem, because you will come out and say, I hear God saying this, and they'll say, I didn't hear God say that. And then now you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, and you do not know how to get out of that debacle. But well, it's very important that you prioritize this. It's important that you find a woman who fears the Lord, a woman who has found herself even in the Lord, that will help you in your relationship moving forward. My second point is, who has the greatest influence over her? And you might ask me, why does that come second to God? It's because you need to understand that that will shape who she will be in the future. That shapes her target. That shows you of the kind of person she wants to be. Ask questions like, who do you look up to? Who's your favorite author? Who's your favorite musician, favorite preacher? Who and ultimately ask her, because that those questions will tell you where she want to end up. But ask her of her friends as well. Maybe get to see her around her friends. That will give you perspective on the kind of person she is and who's speaking into her life. Because how is that important? It's possible that with you she might actually alter her character, alter her personality, because well, she likes you as well, and you're an ideal person for her to be in a relationship with. But the moment you see her with her friends, you'll see things coming up. The way they talk when they're together, you'll hear her friends refer to her in that way. You'll hear her friends starting to use that language, and then you will see the kind of person she is, because you are who waters into you. You are who speaks into your life, and ultimately who influences you. Scripture says that bad character corrupts the good. So we won't run away from the fact that if you hang around the wrong type of people, you end up being derailed from the path of goodness, and stuff. So it's important for you to, as a person, when you're collecting data, to take into cognizance who she hangs around, because that speaks of who she is as a person. Third point is she meek and teachable? That's very, very profoundly important, because you got to understand that in marriage, I remember when I got married, I used to think I'm a better person, but believe me, marriage was like a mirror. It reflected my flaws and all the things, the bad habits and stuff. And as much as I was selfless in other areas of my life, I was selfish but the moment I became married, actually even in the dating stage, when we started being together, I started reflecting. She started reflecting certain things about me that I didn't know even existed, and I'm like, God, am I that terrible of a person? But no. But now, because I had a mixed spirit and a teachable spirit, I was willing to listen to what she was saying about me, willing to take a counsel and grow. Because if you're going to be in a relationship, I mean, forever is a long time, and you definitely need someone who can tolerate change, someone who can listen to you when you rebuke them or when you gently address certain issues in the relationship. So it's very important that they need to be meek and teachable. You got to understand that A person who's not meek is very prideful, and being prideful will take away so many things from your relationship. You gotta understand that you won't be happy as a guy as well, because you need a woman who will submit to you, and she won't be able to submit to you if she's proud, because there are times where you will need her to follow you as the head. Understand? I'm not saying you become stubborn and then you just become a one-man team, a solo leadership, and stuff. No, I'm saying that there are times where you need her to follow your direction. I believe in doing things as everything is partnership in a relationship. My wife and I, even in our dating stage, we used to partner up in projects. Partner up. I will tell her and let her know of what my plans are. Even before she started working, she was still at school, I was working, but I will let her know of my finances and what I'm planning to do, and stuff, because it is partnership. And you want a woman who will eventually evolve from being a girlfriend or a partner in relationship to being a wife. So you want someone who is mixed, someone who's teachable, because you will have to eventually teach each other, because in a marriage we learn. Understand? It's called marriage school of love, because the first day you enroll, you're called married, but you have to grow in marriage. You have to learn. Fourth point is she honest and transparent? It's very important, very, very important, that she's able to let her guard down and talk to you as a person, and stuff. I love the Bible. The Bible says in the book of Genesis that they were naked and not ashamed, meaning they could be themselves with each other. So going back to a relationship, you need someone who doesn't put a facade, someone who tries project a perfect type of a personality, a background as well. I've met people who you talk to and you become real with, and they just want to talk about how their life is perfect, how their family is perfect, how everything about them is perfect. And then when you start talking about or you take the whole discussion to a different direction, where you want them to be vulnerable, where you want to see how they deal with certain weaknesses, and certain challenges, and they act as if they just don't have challenges. Hey, red flag. That's a red flag. You need to walk away from such, because you gotta know that such a person is hiding who they are from you, and then you collect the data that you're collecting is already distorted. So you might as well throw it in the bin. You rather beg off, brother. Believe you me, there's nothing there for you. You want someone who will be transparent and someone who will be honest with you. It won't change if when you get into a relationship, some things will just start popping up. You start seeing things, and if they fake it long enough for you to marry them without you discerning that they're not being transparent and honest with you, you're gonna have a problem in your marriage, and eventually, unfortunately, might end up in a divorce as well. So it's very important to get someone who's transparent. So when you're asking your question, when you're looking at criteria and qualities, look for a person who's honest and transparent. My fifth point is her conduct, how she carries herself, how she uses her words. It's very important. Listen to her, listen to how she uses her words. You got to understand the power of words. I want to read a verse for you. If you look at Proverbs 12:26, says, the righteous should choose his friends carefully, for the way of the wicked leads them astray. So it's very important. You will start hearing a company as well from the way she speaks, the way she sounds, it will echo. It's called frame of reference, where she's been, where she grew up, and all of that will echo in the way she speaks and the way she talks, and you'll start understanding the kind of person she is. And if you see red flags right there, start digging into those and start finding out if that's who she is, and stuff. Because there are people are allowed to make mistakes, even on a speed dating, on dating or whatever. But try find out if that's who she really is. Then that should be a serious red flag as well, because she's supposed to use her words to build you, to speak into your kids, to speak into you, and to speak into your life. So you need someone who uses their words wisely. How does she treat other people? It's important. That will show you who she is. It will show you of her character. It will show you of her build and the kind of person she is, how she uses her words and how she treats other people. Is she a kind person? Is she submissive? The small stuff that happens when you guys are going out on a date, waiting on a line, or at church, looking at her from a distance, when there's a conflict and stuff. How does she handle conflicts? How does she handle challenges and change? Because those are the things that will show you who she is and reflect who she is. We've come to the end of our video, and if you really like the content, I'll say please subscribe, like, click on the bell for notification, comment. Let us know what kind of content you love to hear from this channel. Let us know what you think of this very video actually, and we'll love for you to become part of the family. We love you so much and see you on the next one. Peace.